You wake up at 6 in the morning, yet you feel like you have been running a marathon in your sleep. Your coffee cup is empty by 9, but the fog in your brain is thicker than ever. You visit your doctor, you get your blood work done, and they tell you everything looks perfectly normal. You are told your cholesterol is fine, your thyroid is in range, and your blood sugar is acceptable. Yet, you are exhausted. You are irritable. You are losing your spark. And you are starting to wonder if this is just what getting older feels like. If you feel like your body is failing you despite what your test results say, I need you to listen closely, because the medical establishment is missing a giant, gaping hole in how we evaluate your longevity. There's a hidden deficiency that haunts millions of people over the age of 50, a silent thief of your vitality that rarely shows up on a standard annual physical report. Before I pull back the curtain on this, please take a second to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and give this video a thumbs up so we can get this information to the people who need it most. If you have ever felt dismissed by a doctor because your labs came back normal while you still felt terrible, drop a comment below with the word tired right now. It helps the algorithm share this message with someone who might be losing hope today. My name is Dr. Harrison Blake, and for the past 15 years, I have dedicated my career to untangling the complex web of human health, moving beyond the outdated metrics that keep so many of my patients trapped in cycles of fatigue. My goal is simple yet ambitious. I want to help you take full control of your physiology so you can stop just surviving and start truly thriving. I have spent a decade and a half looking past the numbers on a screen to see the person behind the symptoms. Today, we are going to talk about the missing link in your cellular energy production. Imagine your body is a high-performance vehicle. For years, you have been driving hard, putting in the miles, and managing the routine maintenance. But as you enter your 50s and beyond, that engine starts to sputter. You check the oil, you check the tires, and the dashboard lights say everything is green, but you know something is wrong. You are experiencing what I call the cellular energy drought. Most of the time, when we talk about energy, we talk about calories or stimulants. We talk about willpower. We don't talk about the actual machinery inside your cells called mitochondria. These are your energy factories. If they are not running at peak efficiency, no amount of sleep or caffeine is going to fix the way you feel. And the reason they stop working? It is often a deficiency that standard blood panels simply ignore. We look at cholesterol, triglycerides, and glucose. These are important, don't get me wrong, but they are static snapshots. They tell us about the fuel in the tank, but they don't tell us about the spark plugs. Specifically, I am talking about your intracellular magnesium levels and the critical balance of your coenzyme Q10. You see, after the age of 50, our body's ability to synthesize these two powerhouses drops off a cliff. When you are low on magnesium, your body cannot properly manage the transport of energy across cellular membranes. You are essentially trying to power a mansion with a single battery. It doesn't matter how well you eat or how much you walk. The energy just isn't reaching the destination. But here's the kicker that keeps me up at night. Doctors are trained to look for deficiency in terms of acute illness. They look for levels that are low enough to cause a medical crisis. They aren't looking for the subclinical levels that cause you to feel like a zombie for years. You could be hovering just above the red line, technically normal by lab standards, but functionally bankrupt in terms of energy. This is a tragedy because it is entirely reversible. When I work with patients in my clinic, we don't just look at the blood. We look at the lifestyle habits that are depleting these reserves. Think about your stress levels. Every time you face a stressful situation, your body burns through magnesium at an accelerated rate. If you are stressed, you are deficient. If you are sitting too much, your muscles aren't signaling the mitochondria to produce the energy you need to feel alive. And if your diet is filled with processed foods, you are essentially pouring sand into the gears of those energy factories. It is a perfect storm for the modern person over 50. You're living a life that demands high energy, but you're fueling a system that is starving for the very micronutrients that make energy possible. Let's talk about cholesterol for a moment, because this is where the confusion really sets in. Many of you are on statins or other medications to manage your lipid profile. While these are vital for some, they often come with a hidden cost. They inhibit production of coenzyme Q10. If you're taking medication to lower your cholesterol and you're feeling exhausted, there's a very high probability that you are suffering from a functional depletion of this enzyme. The irony is staggering. You are taking a pill to improve your long-term heart health. But in the process, you're slowing down the engine that actually drives your heart's performance. Does your doctor mention this? Do they suggest a supplement or dietary adjustment to compensate for what the medication is taking away? Usually no. And that is why you feel tired for no reason. It isn't no reason. It is a biological consequence of a system that is imbalanced. Now, I want to address the skeptics. You might be saying, Dr. Blake, surely if this were that simple, everyone would be doing it. But medicine is a conservative field. It prioritizes a treatment of the symptom over the optimization of a human experience. We aren't taught to look for vitality. We are taught to look for pathology. If you aren't dying, you are considered healthy. But I know you want more than just not dying. You want to wake up with clarity. You want to have the stamina to play with your grandkids, to hike that trail, to finish your workday without needing a nap, and to reclaim the joy of movement. That requires a proactive approach to your cellular health. Let's break down the solution into 3 actionable pillars. The first is identifying your specific gaps. I want you to go back to your last set of blood results. Are you looking at your thyroid-stimulating hormone? Are you looking at your vitamin D levels? Most importantly, are you tracking your fatigue alongside your markers? The second pillar is a strategic upgrade of your micronutrients. We are talking about magnesium for nervous system regulation and muscle recovery, and potentially looking into coenzyme Q10 if you are on cholesterol-lowering medications or simply feeling the drag of age. The third pillar is metabolic flexibility. You have to teach your body to burn fat for fuel again, rather than just relying on the roller coaster of glucose. When you start implementing these changes, you don't feel a sudden jolt like you do with an energy drink. You start to feel a subtle, constant, and sustainable hum of energy. You realize you haven't needed that second cup of coffee. You realize your mood has leveled out. Your brain fog begins to lift, not because you found a magic cure, but because you finally gave your cells the tools they needed to do their jobs. It is about listening to the signal your body is sending you. Fatigue is not a character flaw. It is not an inevitable part of aging. Fatigue is a message from your cells that they are begging for the right inputs. I have seen people in their 70s completely transform their lives just by tweaking these few variables. I had a patient, let's call him Robert, who came to me feeling like he was 90. He was taking multiple medications. He was sedentary, and he had given up on the idea of ever feeling strong again. Within 3 months of addressing his cellular nutrient profile and shifting his movement patterns, he was back in the gym. He told me he hadn't felt this way since he was 40. That is the power of science-based habit change. It is not about radical, unsustainable diets or expensive and proven treatments. It is about understanding the fundamental biology of your cells. Let's look at the science of the mitochondria again. They are your most valuable assets. If you treat them well, they will reward you with a longer health span. If you continue to ignore them, they will atrophy. It is that simple. You have to change the way you think about health. Stop looking at your body as a collection of parts that break down and start looking at it as an integrated, intelligent system that is constantly trying to maintain balance. When you are tired, you have lost that balance. When you are anxious, you have lost that balance. When you're struggling with low energy, it is just a plea for a recalibration. I want you to think about what your life would look like 1 year from today if you committed to this recalibration. Imagine the version of yourself that has the physical stamina to travel, the mental sharpness to learn new things, and the emotional resilience to handle whatever life throws your way. That person is not a stranger. That person is you, buried under years of neglect and bad data. You have the power to dig that person out. It requires discipline, but it is the kind of discipline that pays the highest dividends imaginable. As we wrap up, I want you to reflect on what we have discussed. Your fatigue is a signal. Your normal labs are not the final word. Your health is your responsibility, and you have 15 years of my clinical experience distilled into this very conversation. You have the map, but you have to walk the path. If you found this information valuable, please make sure you share it with a friend or family member who is currently struggling with their energy levels. We are creating a community of people who refuse to accept mediocrity in their health. By sharing this, you aren't just sending a video. You are potentially changing the trajectory of someone's life. Before you go, I want to leave you with one final thought. The biggest mistake people make is waiting for the perfect time or the perfect doctor to start taking care of themselves. The perfect time is the moment you decide that your quality of life is worth the effort. Start today. Look at your supplements. Look at your stress. And for heaven's sake, look at your mitochondria. You deserve to feel vibrant at every age. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your health journey. Keep pushing, keep questioning, and keep striving for that next level of vitality. And remember, the work you do today is a foundation for the energy you will have tomorrow. If you want to dive deeper into these topics, check out the links in the description below where I break down the science of these supplements in greater detail. Stay healthy, stay energized, and I will see you in the next video.